Hello, my dear friends. Today, I want to spend some time talking to you in a gentle and sincere way, just like a grandchild talking to their grandparents. Life today is fast and busy. Sometimes we forget to pause and take care of our own health, especially when we get older. I know many of you here are retired or close to retirement. You may have more free time than before, but along with that come concerns about health, diet, and what foods are truly good for your body. One of the topics many older people often wonder about is fruit. We all think that fruit is always healthy, always safe, and the more we eat, the better. But in reality, that is not completely true. Fruit is very good, rich in vitamins and fiber, but not all kinds are suitable for older people. There are some fruits that, if eaten too much or eaten at the wrong time, can cause health problems such as high blood sugar, digestive discomfort, or even affect blood pressure and heart health. That is why today I want to share this story in the most natural and close way. It is not scientific theory that is difficult to understand, but simple and easy to remember, so that you can apply it in everyday life. When we get older, our body no longer works as smoothly as before. Digestion slows down, metabolism is weaker, and organs such as the heart, kidneys, and liver become more sensitive. At that time, the food we put into our body needs to be carefully considered. I know many of you love sweet fruits, especially fruits like durian, jackfruit, lychee, or longan. These are delicious and full of flavor, but they contain a lot of sugar. If you have diabetes or are at risk of diabetes, eating these often can make your blood sugar rise quickly. Not only that, too much sugar also causes weight gain, making joints and the heart work harder. So when eating fruit, remember that moderation is the key. Do not deprive yourself completely, but do not indulge too much either. I remember my grandmother loved eating jackfruit. Every summer when the jackfruit tree in the yard bore fruit, she was always happy to cut a big ripe jackfruit. She would invite the whole family to eat together, but as she got older, she had high blood sugar. The doctor advised her to limit sweet fruits. At first, she was very sad, saying that life was less enjoyable if she could not eat her favorite food. But then she realized she could still eat a little, just not too much. Instead of eating a whole plate, she only ate a few pieces and enjoyed them slowly. That way, she still kept the joy while ensuring her health was safe. Another fruit many people like is watermelon. Watermelon is cool, juicy, and very refreshing in the summer, but watermelon also contains a lot of natural sugar. For older people who already have weak kidneys or unstable blood pressure, eating too much watermelon can make the body swell or feel tired. Watermelon also makes blood sugar rise quickly. That does not mean you cannot eat it, but you should not eat too much at once. Eating a few slices to cool down is fine, but do not turn it into a main dish. Speaking of fruit, we also cannot forget bananas. Bananas are nutritious and good for digestion, but for people with kidney disease, eating too many bananas can make potassium levels in the blood rise. That is very dangerous for the heart. So, if you have kidney problems or high blood pressure, you should consult your doctor before eating bananas regularly. Lychee and longan are also loved fruits, but both are very sweet. If you eat too much, you may experience heatiness, acne, or indigestion. For older people whose digestion is already weak, eating too much can cause bloating and abdominal pain. So, if you want to eat, you should only eat a small portion. Durian is another special fruit. Many people call it the king of fruits because of its rich taste and unique smell. But durian is very high in calories, fat, and sugar. For people with heart disease, diabetes, or high blood pressure, it is best to limit durian as much as possible. Eating a little to satisfy cravings is okay, but do not eat too much. Mangosteen is delicious, and many people love its slightly sour, sweet flavor. But the thick rind contains substances that may affect digestion if you eat too much. The flesh is sweet, and for people with diabetes, it is also not very suitable. In addition to the fruits that need to be limited, I also want to remind you of the way we eat. Sometimes it is not the fruit itself that is harmful, but how we consume it. For example, some people like to eat fruit after dinner thinking it will aid digestion. But in fact, eating fruit right after a meal, especially sweet fruit, can make digestion heavier. The stomach has to work harder, leading to bloating and indigestion. The best time to eat fruit is between meals about 1 to 2 hours after eating. At that time, the body can absorb nutrients more effectively. Another mistake many people make is drinking fruit juice instead of eating whole fruit. They think juice is the same, but actually juice often lacks fiber and concentrates sugar. A glass of orange juice can contain as much sugar as several oranges. For people with diabetes or unstable blood sugar, that is not good at all. It is always better to eat the whole fruit so you can get both fiber and vitamins. Now that I have talked about what to limit, I also want to talk about the kinds of fruit that are very good for older people and should be eaten more often. Apples are one of them. An apple a day is a saying we often hear, and it is true. Apples are rich in fiber, good for digestion, and help control cholesterol. Apples are also easy to eat, gentle on the stomach, and suitable for almost everyone. Oranges and tangerines are also very good because they provide vitamin C, which helps strengthen the immune system. Just one orange a day can help you feel refreshed and energetic. But remember to eat the fruit rather than drinking the juice to avoid too much sugar. Berries, such as strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries, are also wonderful. They are low in sugar, high in antioxidants, and very good for the brain and heart. For older people, eating a small handful of berries every day can help slow down memory decline and protect cardiovascular health. Papaya is another fruit worth mentioning. It is good for digestion, contains many enzymes that help the stomach work better. If you often suffer from constipation, eating papaya regularly will help a lot. Pear is also a very safe fruit. Pears contain a lot of water, which helps the body stay hydrated and are gentle for people with stomach problems. One more fruit is avocado. Although avocado is not very sweet, it contains healthy fats that are good for the heart and brain. For older people, adding avocado to meals helps provide energy without raising blood sugar. Through all this, I want to emphasize one thing. At any age, especially when we are older, diet plays a huge role in our health. Eating fruit is good, but it is important to choose the right kind and eat in moderation. Do not think that the more fruit, the better. Balance is the most important thing. Sometimes, health care does not have to be complicated or expensive. It starts with small, everyday habits like choosing the right food. For example, instead of a plate of sweet lychee, choose an apple. Instead of drinking a glass of juice, eat the whole fruit. These small changes may seem simple, but over time they will protect your body very effectively. I know that many of you, when you get older, often feel lonely. Children and grandchildren are busy, and you do not want to bother them. But I want you to remember that taking care of yourself is also a way of taking care of your children. When you are healthy, they will have peace of mind. When you are sick, they will worry more. So eating healthy is not only for yourself, but also for the happiness of the whole family. I remember a story about my neighbor who was over 70 years old. He loved eating durian, and every time the season came, he would buy several fruits to eat gradually. But later, he developed high blood pressure, and his doctor advised him to give up durian. At first, he was very upset, but then his grandchildren encouraged him to try other fruits like avocado and apples. Over time, he realized that life was still sweet and enjoyable even without durian. He laughed and said, "The love of children and grandchildren is sweeter than any fruit." That story reminds me that sometimes health is not just about food, but also the joy of living and the love we share. Fruits are delicious, but they are only part of life. What keeps us healthy and happy is a relaxed spirit, regular movement, and meaningful connections with loved ones. So, my dear friends, as you listen to this, I hope you'll take a little time to think about what you have been eating every day. If there are fruits, you should limit. Try to reduce them. If there are fruits that are good, add more of them. Listen to your body, because it will tell you what it needs. Before I end this sharing, I want to send you a sincere message. Life is very precious, and health is priceless. No matter how old we are, we all deserve to live joyfully and healthily. So please, take good care of yourself. And if you find this story meaningful, do not forget to give it a like. Share it with your friends so they can also take care of their health, and subscribe to the channel to listen to more stories like this. Your support is the motivation for me to continue sharing more useful things with you. Thank you very much for spending time with me today. I wish you and your family always peace, health, and happiness.